Hey folks, it's Woody here over at USA Made Blade, and just coming to you today in this video to talk to you about the White River Knives Firecraft 3.5. So let's start off with the White River Knives Firecraft 3.5 by showing off the box that this thing comes in. This isn't your normal, ordinary fixed blade knife box. This is a piece of wood box that they milled out and made a sliding top to, and slide that back on there. Do just have to show off that this is actually deep engraved or stamped with their logo. It's got a seal on one side, and then of course I love that USA Made in America sticker that's on there. So very nicely done. And then when you slide this off, great presentation to open up the knife to. Everything is cut out for the knife to sit perfectly in. And one of the reasons they do these really cool boxes is because, like, you know, you can use this later, put stuff in it, store stuff in it. It's a very neat container, something that people are very unlikely to toss in the trash. So let's get the knife out here and take a look underneath it for a second. So you get the certificate here, saying a few things about it, and then also we'll get to some more of this later, but it does give you some different configuration ways to carry the knife, so which is really cool, and then belt loop instructions and how to do everything with that. So let's start how it comes out of the box. You've got your, one thing that I've always said about White River knives, they just make a fantastic Kydex sheath, and that's no exception on the Firecraft 3.5. All their Firecraft knives come with a fire steel included, and man, does this thing throw some sparks. It really does. So let's take a look at the knife. Oh, finish up. Belt loop part of the sheath, and we're gonna get into a lot more on that later on. So here it is, Firecraft 3.5. We are S35 VN steel. This particular model has black G10 handles that are textured, gives a good grip. And we're gonna talk about this finger ring in a minute. Let's give you some specs on it. We're looking at about 7.75 inches overall. In there, and see if I can show that tip there. I believe about a 3.5 inch cutting edge, or 3.5 inch blade. I think the cutting edge is actually a little shorter because of the sharpening choil here. Let's see, blade thickness is 0.13. It's a clip point flat grind, and those are kind of your specs there. So get my cheat sheet out of the way. Guys, I mean, I've got big hands. I've talked about that in the past. Still fits my hands really, really well. Has good purchase on this texturing on the G10, and just a great design, especially for an everyday carry style fixed blade, or something to carry on your hikes or camping, things like that. Let's talk about this finger ring on the back. A lot of people think that is actually meant to be used with your pinky in there. You can, but I'm going to tell you that's not the most comfortable way to do it. When you do put your pinky in there, it does kind of force that thumb up further to make it a little more comfortable. So it can be done, but it's really meant to be handled or put your hand over it. And it kind of sits there and gives that last pinky good purchase on the back side of that handle. What that finger ring is for, to be honest, is if you're in wet conditions or things like that, and you're carrying this, you can actually put your pinky in there to slide the knife out and not worry about it slipping out of your hand. So it's just there for easier access to the knife. So speaking of sliding in and out of the sheath, you will notice it's got really great retention. I mean, this thing, once it's in there, is in there. But a nice ramp here to push off of, and it's needed. So as soon as you give that a good push, it pops right out. But Great design. And one of the, let's talk about a few things. Oh, also before we forget it, got a nice notch here for your fire steel, for striking, getting fires lit. And then the last thing I want to talk about with this knife that we're going to dive into a good little bit here is this is the best scout carry knife that I think I've ever owned. It carries really, really well, conceals really, really well, but also really comfortable with scout carry. So like if you're scout carrying this and you're camping or hiking, it's not rubbing into you or digging into you. So we're actually going to cut away, and I'm going to try and comfortably show you guys how well the scout carries and pulls out from a scout carry position. And hopefully that'll make you help you out with some purchasing decisions. But let's cut away so we can show you guys that. And actually, let me just show this bad boy off one more time. So as you can see, the White River Firecraft 3.5 just sits very nice and concealed. No printing or anything like that. Doesn't look like I'm really carrying anything. And then pull up, and there it is. Rod's very nice, sits up high, so it's not sagging. Most knives I try to carry, scout carry, seem to sag. But easy draw out of the sheath, no problems there, and pretty darn easy getting back in. So it's just a very, very well done scout carry style knife. You can also wear it over here on the belt. We talked about being able to use that that loop on it for an easier draw, and in this position that actually works really well to get that pinky on there and pull the knife out. Fire steel doesn't seem to bump against anything or hurt anything. Just like I said, just a very well thought out, very good design. One of the best scout carries I've ever seen, and especially in its price range. All right, guys, so two last quick things before we get out of here on this. Number one is I can't tell you how many times that I've carried this knife, especially on the weekends when I'm going hiking and things like that, that at the end of the night, I'm going to change clothes to get ready for bed, and I've completely forgotten that it is on my belt until I'm getting ready to get changed. So that's how comfortable it carries. The last thing to say about the White River knife and the White River Knife Company is that it's a family-owned business, and they're just a fantastic family, great group of people over there, and father and kids all working there and just making really great quality stuff. We're very proud to sell them, but this one in particular is the White River Firecraft 3.5. It's available in black G10, OD with orange liners, and orange G10 currently, and they are available at usamadeblade.com. So we hope you'll go over and check one out, and as always, folks, we appreciate you watching.